Good evening. Weather Impact meteorologist Gary Frank with an update, as it's been kind of a busy last hour or two as the final bit of these storms that, seems like they've been with us for the last couple of days. Hit and miss, showers and thunderstorms, brief heavy downpours. That's what we've been dealing with here in the short term. And as we look outside right now, you can see that it's still pretty dark in the Metro East. And it's all part of the area that's gotten some pretty significant rain. And I want to put this on a full screen for you so you can take a look at the radar here as we continue to see the back edge of this. Now, one thing that we've noticed is on the Metro East side, some of these storms have been on the stronger side and even provided a few areas with some minor flooding as well. And so as we look at some of this ahead, I do want to talk about the significant rainfall rates that are starting to come by. Right now, we have nothing in terms of severe weather, but we do have a flood advisory in place right now as we continue to look at that. And that's one thing that I'm going to flash on here for you, exactly where that is. But we still are dealing with a flood advisory here. Like I mentioned, it's specifically for Edwardsville, areas that have seen just a little bit more rain here over the last few hours. Now, as we talk about these areas specifically, watch how this significant rainfall over the last 30 minutes or so has really started to fall. And, we continue to see this slowly move out, but there's some pretty significant rain just out of our viewing area. But it's not out of the question that Greenville, Vandalia, Ramsey, Litchfield may get in on some of this as well. But a lot of this has started to rain itself out. Alhambra, Burgess, Grand Fork, you're starting to see some of this rainfall. And, these are significant rainfall rates, upwards of 3 to 4 inches per hour. We have significant blinding rainfall, and the fact that it's only lasting upwards of 15 to 20 minutes is a positive, and that's why we don't have any active flash flood warnings or things like that. So as we look ahead, that's where I think we're going to see things, that relatively speaking will start to get quieter. If you're on the Missouri side, your chances are over. You're starting to see temperatures fall just a little bit, but like I mentioned, we at least have some of those areas under, those minor flood watch, flood advisories, things like that. So when it comes to any of those advisories, that's where we're kind of looking at here. And you can see that right now. There's the flood advisory for pretty much anywhere in Madison County until 8:45, just because we've had some minor low-lying flood. They got some pretty decent rain here. And more of it has just been because we've seen some localized flooding over about an inch. So that's one thing that I want to point out right now. I don't think that this is going to be something that happens a ton, but it's just something to note. I think it'll wind down pretty quickly. These rainfall rates are pretty excessive. See behind it? That's the heat. We'll get to that. But I want to show you what this may look like the rest of the evening here. As if you want an update on some of that, I just did a live stream and an update on some of the rain and what I expect. But let's look at Futurecast here, because watch how that rain settles out of here by 8 or 9 o'clock, and as the sun sets, the heating of the day goes away to some degree, and this entire system moves out. I think we're in really nice shape the rest of the evening. So chances of rain really go down, and we've already seen a lot of rain cool there. In fact, I can pull that up for you. It feels much better than it has in days. Look at some of the local temperatures right now. You've seen temperatures range from 71 in Edwardsville to 80 in St. Charles. Depends on where it rained, right? And that's why things are starting to settle down just a little bit more. The key for us here over the next few days, as I flash that on a full screen, I come back to you. Let's talk a little bit about this. We have excessive heat warning in the immediate St. Louis area, Franklin County, Jefferson County, or we have St. Louis County, pretty much anywhere in the metropolitan area is involved in that excessive heat warning. That starts at 1 o'clock and goes through Thursday at 7 o'clock. We have a heat advisory for pretty much everyone else, right? The difference is it gets hotter in the city. It stays above 80 overnight for pretty much every night. And that is a key. When we don't have, any breaks to, overnight, it doesn't drop down. We can handle 100 degrees, 95 degrees when it's 60 at night, but when it's 80, that's tougher for us. These are our next weather impact alert days. I want to keep you posted on Monday through Thursday. What we can expect is obviously extreme heat, and I know you're going to say, hey, it's hot in August, it's hot in July, we get it, and I understand that. I'm going to be outside with you, but when it's very humid, those two combine, that's when it's tougher for us to cool down naturally when we have a little bit of a breeze. the heat index will feel like it's between 105 and 110. I think that's pretty consistent. That's where it feels soupy outside. You will see that the heat-related illnesses continue to become an issue. If you don't take breaks inside, you don't take breaks in the shade, you don't hydrate properly, you don't find the best ways to hydrate and take those breaks, the heat will catch up to you. Heat exhaustion becomes heat stroke. That's where it's an issue. We have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves the next few days. So overall, you understand how to do that, but let's check on friends and neighbors that may not, or just remind ourselves. I always have to remind my dad, hey, hydrate enough. One bottle of water is not enough if you're going to be outside playing golf for 4 hours, stuff like that. People are working, people are enjoying that. I get it, like enjoying the pool. We have to make sure that we take breaks in the shade or indoors here at times, because this is what it feels like. Temps feel like they're around 105, around 110. That's Monday, that's Tuesday. This is a steady diet all the way through Thursday. I do think that we'll have at least somewhat of a possibility for a few showers and thunderstorms. And what I want to point out here before I show you what it may look like on Monday is the fact that as we have the core of this heat right now, and that's going to be this high pressure center, we're going to see this high pressure center kind of gradually work its way in. And as I make this move a little bit, watch the edge of this. You'll see the ridge here where the wind arrows are kind of moving around. And let me put this on a full screen for you so you can see it a little better. So you can see that if you're watching on your phone, right? The ridge, this is a clockwise motion around this high pressure center. Now, as I come back, I'm going to talk about what this means. The outer edge of this is the core of heat, right? And when that's over us, typically it's sinking air, it's really hot air that goes way up above the surface. And we're talking 3 to 5 to maybe 10,000 feet above the surface. So it really inhibits thunderstorm development. But when we're on the edge of these things, there's enough influence from some of that cooler air, and that's generally what we start to see, storms that develop along the edge of that. And if that means we're on the edge of it, it's going to be a razor thin line. How close that high is, if we can break that warm air cap, things start to get a little more active. So that's what we're going to be looking at as far as the overnight hours. So I want you to keep that thought in mind, because now I'm going to show you what it may look like the rest of the night. Because as we get rid of these storms the rest of the night, I think that there's a possibility that we may see a few more storms as we head into the overnight hours. While I don't expect severe weather, it's possible that you're going to deal with some of these storms 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. So keep that in mind. And then as we head into the first part of the day, rain is at least around. So that may hang around long enough to keep us out of any storms by Monday evening, but we may see some further development. And I'll show you what that looks like closer to home. But watch on Tuesday as that ridge starts to settle in. Watch where this storm development seems to be. Watch how it starts to go. Look at the movement around that high. I'm moving this back and forth, and I'll kind of point this out, right? You know, moving this back and forth around. That's where I think those storms are developing, and they're going to be around that high. So we're going to be hot, we're going to be humid, we're going to be very near the edge of that. And so our storm chances are limited, but they're just kind of wishy-washy. So I think it really depends on what goes on further to the north as we head into the overnight hours. Are we going to see another round of storms to our north that kind of holds together? Because watch where this storm development is kind of hanging out. Let me put different radar on for you so you can see that. Watch where this storm is kind of hanging out. Is it, to me right now, it looks like, you know, to me it looks right now like it's going to continue to work its way off to the east. At some point, though, this may take a little bit of a nosedive and impact some of our areas, especially on the Illinois side. That's something Anthony's going to track, but I don't think severe weather is something that we're looking at. The dynamics for that aren't quite there yet, and so I don't think there's a big severe weather outlook. That's something that we're paying attention to right now. But when it comes to the next few days, keep in mind the heat is our most significant factor, and that's what we're going to look at for. So as we head into the next few days, a weather impact alert day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, mid-90s, 100 degrees. As we head into the afternoon hours, like I mentioned, we get storms in the morning that may kind of get out of here in time for us to still heat up, but we may have a few storms that develop later on. Otherwise, I think it's pretty quiet. Then by Thursday into Friday, somewhat of a pattern change as that ridge diminishes, and then we won't see things quite as hot. It's still very hot and humid, and that's what we're dealing with the next few days as we continue to look at heat, humidity, and significant heat and humidity. We'll update you on anything that changes over the next 2 to 3 hours, and then also talk a little bit more about the heat, but we will continue to keep you posted about our next weather impact alert days here that are the next few days.